And just like that, Iowa Hawkeyes hit the transfer portal for a wide receiver, a must freaking needed position for the Hawkeyes. I haven't done a video about the Iowa Hawkeyes because, well, I'm trying not to have super high expectations, so then I get disappointed. So I'm gonna have low expectations so I can be surprised and happy at the season. But so Iowa, let's go. They got Kaleb Brown from the transfer portal out of Ohio State University. There you guys go. That's pretty much all you need to know about him. Obviously, he was recruited. I think he's like a 4-star recruit when he was coming out of high school out of there in Chicago, Illinois. I believe he only had like 1 or 2 catches against, I think it was actually 1 catch against Iowa last year in garbage time. But obviously, you guys know all the wide receivers at Ohio State, and the reason why he pretty much wasn't going to get any playing time, guys. He's got like 2-3 NFL caliber wide receivers in front of him, and then he's going to have another 2-3 NFL wide receivers in front of him. He wasn't going to get any playing time, guys, so he was going to hit the transfer portal, which made pretty much sense. Now, a lot of people are like, well, we're just taking the leftovers from Ohio State University. And to me, to answer that, pretty fucking yeah, we are, guys. We're taking the leftovers. However, in a sense, Ohio State's leftovers of wide receivers are probably better than Iowa's current wide receiver group right now, guys. So I've seen some of his highlights. He's definitely a dynamic player. He's definitely had speed, but then again, you can't tell too much because it's high school, man. It's one of those things. Most of these guys in high school, that play in D1 football, they dominate high school. That's the reason why. It's a next level thing. So I think he's like 5'10", about 190 pounds, 195. So he's got speed. He's not gonna blow off the top of any defense, but I was just watching some of his highlights. He's definitely got some shift to him, and I think Iowa, God forbid, they're going to be running those jet sweeps, which I like if you're using sparingly and at the right times. Brian Ferentz, please use that play sparingly and at the right times. This is the thing. Iowa needed this, but the biggest, most important thing is Iowa's offensive line has to give Cade McNamara time to find these guys open, to throw them open, okay? We can have all the skill position needs and filled and all that, whatever, but if our freaking offensive line cannot block, cannot give them time, cannot have any running lanes for the running backs, we're going to struggle. I don't care who, it doesn't even matter who the offensive coordinator is. It can be the greatest offensive mind ever. But if the offensive line cannot block, that's critical. Iowa's going to struggle. So that's key number 1 in my eyes. Key number 2, definitely we needed a wide receiver. We needed speed. We needed athletic ability. We had no athletic ability at wide receiver, guys. So this is going to be interesting. I'm very excited to see now, having Kaleb Brown join Iowa. He's going to get playing time. That's a fact. He's an athlete, a great athlete. That's a fact. Now, my thing is having amazing tight ends. My biggest thing is, can Brian Ferentz get the play calling dialed in? Because that has been his lack, I guess you can say, forte. Even though offensive coordinator, you're supposed to have some good play calling ability and good schemes. I feel, then again, I don't know if his dad has the handcuffs on. So I don't know if his dad can let his son run with it a little bit. Who knows on that? We don't know behind the story. But what we can see, Brian Ferentz is the head honcho when it comes to the offensive play call. So I want him to be able to mix in better play calling this year. You can't just do the same thing and expect this, better results. I understand we got to obviously execute better. I think we have a quarterback who is a step above what we had previous years. I believe we have better. I would say better tight ends, but I would say we have an equivalent of high level tight ends this year again. And I feel like adding, obviously Kaleb Brown is going to help for the wide receiver side. So he's one guy. Definitely, he's not going to change everything. Definitely helps Iowa's offense of abilities, and defense is going to have to plan for him, so that's a good thing. And then defensively, I think we're going to be stout again as usual. At least on paper, we should be. And I just feel like my biggest thing is I want to see this offensive line. That's my biggest thing. Everything else will fall in line. We have a good offensive line. This is, it's one of those things. If you're watching out football, if you played football, if you have a great offensive line, you can have average players everywhere else. Quarterback play, wide receiver, running back, tight end. You can have average. But if you have a great offensive line, that team can win a championship. That's how it works, okay? If you have an amazing quarterback, if you have way above average wide receivers, running back, and everything, but your offensive line sucks or is below average, that team will probably win 8 to 9 games a year at best. That's how it works. That's how important the offensive line and defensive line really is. But offensive line, that's going to be our biggest thing, hopefully. And, the crazy thing is Kirk Ferentz is supposedly an offensive line guru. I don't know what's happened in the past couple of years. I felt like the offensive line has struggled. Obviously, ever since Doyle left the program, felt like, to me, I think everybody saw it once, Doyle was no longer there. Iowa's offensive line feels weaker. Go figure, right? The strength and conditioning coach, is no longer there. Why does the offensive line feel like they can't push a defensive line anymore? I don't know, man. I just kind of throwing it out there. But like I said, I'm excited. And I'm going to be somewhat optimistic this year, and hopefully, like I said, I'm going to root for the Iowa Hawkeyes. My expectations are tame. I don't want to obviously get too overly pissed off when shit hits the fan, but hopefully it doesn't happen that way, guys. But there you guys go. Kaleb, can't wait to see you, man. Go Hawks. Welcome to the swarm, baby. If you like this shit, subscribe, guys.